Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Mary's Little House of Centerville. We and Peanut. Peanut's down here drooping. He's like a wilting flower. And Marigold, she was in our cat was in the bathtub, trying to find a cool porcelain place to rest because it's so hot here. Yesterday I looked at the outside thermometer. It was 99 degrees. Of course, it was sitting right in the sun. And even in the house, we have the air conditioner on. It's still very hot. It's in the upper 70s here, almost 80 sometimes here. But anyway, because not so welcome to the heat wave here in southern Illinois, in Centerville at Mary's Little House. Peanut's already sleeping before I start talking. But what I want to speak to you today about is the fourth night for freedom. Fourth night for freedom, called by our shepherds, our bishops of the United States, to stand up for one of our most basic rights, the right that our pilgrims came to this land and established the United States, and on the bill, on the Bill of Rights, the first thing they came for religious freedom, not to be persecuted, but to sell for their faith, but to find a land where there was freedom of conscience, freedom of religion, freedom of worship, to practice their faith. That's why the pilgrims came. One of the main motivations. And then when our fathers established our country, the Constitution, the first right, the most cherished right we have is the right of freedom of religion, freedom of conscience, freedom of worship. The first right. So we're standing up for that. You don't have to be a Democrat or a Republican. It's above that. It's below that. It's more deep than just the partisan politics. It is the right to practice our faith according to our conscience, and that's what we're standing up for today and the next 2 weeks, the next fortnight. And in that fortnight, there are two martyrs that died for the freedom of religion, the freedom of conscience, the freedom to practice their faith, the freedom of worship. And they were St. Thomas More. You'll all probably know that, the classic movie, A Man for All Seasons. It's a beautiful movie on St. Thomas More. He was a family man. He was a lawyer. He was the second in command under King Henry VIII. He was the prime minister, the chancellor of England. He was the executive, like the president is today, to carry out and he loved Mary England. He loved his country. But when the king wanted him to acknowledge, the king wanted him to acknowledge him as the leader of the Catholic Church in England, he could not do it because he was Catholic, and being Catholic is united to the Holy Father in Rome. But so he died for that. Even his family tried to say, well, don't do that. Just give it to the king and still be a Catholic. But you can't do that, you know. It's against the conscience. It's against who we stand for. If we go against our conscience, we're nobody. We don't stand for nothing. Everything becomes, like some of our culture, relativist. You know, there's nothing to live or die for. It's just to sort of accommodate ourselves. And that only leads to chaos and disharmony and injustice. But anyway, because our fathers in the Declaration of Independence found that we hold these truths to be life, freedom, justice, life, the pursuit of happiness, to be inalienable rights. They can't be touched, and founded on the Creator from our very, very Declaration of Independence. And the first thing in our Constitution, the Bill of Rights, is the freedom of religion. That's what we're standing up for. Not about being Republican or being Democrat or independent or where we stand on birth control or whatever other issues. It's the freedom of religion. That's what it's all about. I know someone's painting us as, oh, people don't care about women and all that. No, in fact, we do care about women, to give them the right to stand in their truth and to stand, have the freedom of conscience and all. Any other way we're a state that our rights will dwindle and everything. What was good and beautiful and noble can be dictated away by the state if we don't. Someone doesn't stand up and be counted to live in our free country as our country is. I love America. It's the land of my birth and all, and it's given me so much. And I know you all do too. So you're all patriots out there. But our country needs to stand up for the right for religious freedom. You know what's happening and it's very important that we make a stand for this very clearly. And like St. Thomas More, it's important. We will be persecuted. Even our bishops, I heard, will be targets of a man who has billions of dollars they can't assassinate like they did Thomas More or St. John Fisher, but they can assassinate character. They could demean and hurt the good name and reputation of our shepherds. So we will be persecuted, and that's okay, because if life is worth standing up for, life and our freedoms. We're made to God's image and likeness. Our freedoms are established on God's way He made us and the way He's called us to live, and it's based on God's laws, on being made to the image and likeness of God, and we're free by God to honor Him in the way our conscience dictates. So that's what we're standing up for. Last night at prayer meeting, I was sort of crying, almost lamenting and crying, tearful, because I wanted to be at the bishop's a mass, which is being celebrated here in our little diocese of Belleville, Illinois, right across the river from St. Louis, Missouri. And I couldn't because of transportation problems. I'm still waiting for a car that works, and God's going to provide that. And one of the members of the prayer group said that you, like the poor clerics, they're not going to be at the bishop's mass. They can't be out on the sidewalks marching for the right of our religious freedom, but they are doing something in the cloister. Well, I'm doing something at Mary's Little House. I told them today, I emailed them today, I feel a little better about not being able to go to the bishop's mass for the Fortnight of freedom, for religious freedom, because I'm trying to do my daily duty, offering that out. I say, this is for the Fortnight, this is for our beloved country for religious freedom. I've been praying, I've been doing my prayers, my regular prayers, hopefully with greater fervor. I've been trying to offer things up that's bothering me, like the heat. A fuse just blew from our air conditioner. The computer was getting all frozen, and I was all those things. I said, this is for the Fortnight. This is for our country, for our religious freedom. This is for our citizens, that we can rally around something that we all have in common, not about being Republican or a Democrat or about birth control and all those things. That's not the issues here. The issue is religious freedom, that we all, this wonderful country that's been such a model for the world, that we all have the freedom of religion to worship God in the way that our conscience dictates. God bless you. So good. Bless you on this Fortnight. Bless you in doing all you can to stand up for religious freedom, even if you're like me, to stay at home here and pray and offer your sufferings and be patient with the little things that bother us, and do your daily duty and pray for our bishops, especially because they're going to really suffer a lot. But that's what St. John Fisher was a bishop, and even during Mass in the sanctuary, the king's men came in because he didn't go along with the king and he died for religious liberty, right at the altar, right in the sanctuary where he should have been safe, but he died for religious liberty. And we're all called to stand up for religious liberty, no matter what the cost, like St. Thomas More, who died for religious liberty, and St. John Fisher, whose feast days will be coming up. And then when 4th of July comes, we could celebrate the birth of our country that has given us that first, most cherished right, the first right, the Bill of Rights, religious freedom. God bless you.